What is happening, Magnus? All night last night, people were asking me to react to Cheatle. Cheatle getting done dirty on this live, but it's like 4.5 hours long or something like that. I was like, I can't do a 4.5 hour reaction like this. No. So I was asking people to send me stuff, and I haven't got any compilations. However, I did find that the Majorie Greene talking to her is the highest viewed. So apparently she must have went off on her. So are you ready? I saw a couple of the clips circulating on Twitter and everything, and this is not looking good for her. All right.
Chair now recognizes Miss Margaret Taylor Greene from Georgia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Cheatle, I'd like to remind you that you're under oath. The site team has...
That always cracks me up because it's like, now go ahead and lie. All right? Now go ahead and lie. I dare you. That's what that's saying.
It's a senior supervisor, an advanced team, a protective intelligence team, a counter sniper element.
Look at her body language. It looks like she's scared. People start twiddling and doing stuff like that when they're scared. You see that in movies. Like, they exaggerate. They be like...
element and detail. Who was the agent in charge? How long has she been the agent in charge? And what is her Secret Service background?
So I'm not going to provide a name.
Why not? You're here to answer our questions.
Forum. I'm not going to provide names of...
You stated in your testimony, you said, I am here today to answer your questions.
I heard she was refusing to answer a lot of stuff.
That is correct.
Answer the question.
I'm not going to provide names of our personnel.
Why not?
Today.
The American people are demanding these answers from you today, Ms. Cheatle.
I will do the best to provide you accurate information based on the facts that I have at this time.
You're not answering our questions.
The funny thing is that, like, people know their name. Like, if she doesn't give the names, people are going to find out the names and give them out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, when your Secret Service is not like you cease to have friends or people that know you that be like, I went to school. That's such and such. And they'll put it out there. So why not just say it?
The advance element coordinates with other intel or law enforcement partners, identifies threats and weaknesses at the sites and movements. We'd like a copy of the advance report. Have you brought it here with you today?
No.
We will comply with the request for the documentation that has been requested.
When will that be, Ms. Cheatle? Because you should have brought it today.
I am certain that our personnel are working on obtaining all of that document.
I don't believe you, and neither do the people watching this hearing. You're not doing well, as Mr. Moskowitz informed you. You've been sitting here for over 3 hours, and I have you know the entire country is demanding you resign and demanding that you be fired if you do not resign.
Yo, everything is such a cluster. Like, seriously, like, if I get the time, I'll try to do the other one. You guys got to let me know, especially if there's a compilation. There might be a compilation that includes this. So I'll do a reaction to the whole thing and maybe cut this part out since I've already seen this part. But come on now. I'm trying to give y'all what you want now.
Things are not going well for you. You need to answer the questions. Was there a protective intelligence team, and what technical resources were utilized for that event, specifically drone or helicopter assets?
There were a number of technical assets that were deployed for that event, and there was a protective intelligence team that was assigned to that event.
Why was Crooks able to fly a drone over the entire area the day of the rally and the day of his assassination attempt?
To my knowledge, he did not fly the drone over the entire area.
How did he fly a drone over the area, period? Any part of the area?
Again, I would have to go back and check the timeline of when that took place and when the event...
Why didn't you bring the timeline with you today to answer our questions?
I don't have all of the
She ain't
answers
prepared
and the
for nothing.
timelines based on the criminal investigation.
Were you not prepared today to answer our questions?
I am prepared to answer the questions based on the information and wanted to be able to provide.
Do you have a timeline do you have a timeline at all from any of the day?
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a talk that I had with someone in Hollywood. And I've told this story before, in that, you know how we wonder how, like, these movies get made, like this garbage gets put out, and it's like, this actually was approved. You know what I mean? And the person told me, and they definitely have experience with Hollywood, they told me, it's amateur hour. So this feels like amateur hour here. Like, this is scary. This is some scary stuff when it comes to protecting arguably the most important man on the planet. Like, what?
I have a timeline that does not have specifics.
That's shocking. That is absolutely unacceptable. That means you're a failure.
Let me tell you something. When somebody's hollering at you and they start laughing at one of the answers you give, that is anger mixed with disbelief. I'm telling you, man. And on the street, if somebody arguing, they start laughing, trust me, a punch is coming straight for your fronts. Yo, something is up.
Your job. Let's talk about things that are prohibited in Trump rallies. And I've been to a lot of Trump rallies. Backpacks and bags.
Okay.
Bicycles. Firearms. Any type of weapon.
Get that uncomfortable drink on.
Or any other item determined to be a potential safety hazard, like a range finder would be one. At 5:10, Crooks is first observed by one of the snipers, AGR Sniper 1, at the building. 5:10.
Now, I did hear in one clip that a rangefinder is not prohibited, but why? Who else is what quickly came to my mind is, well, maybe a rangefinder is used for photographers or something like that, if it's not prohibited. Because if it's not, then why isn't it? Get what I'm saying?
5:10, President Trump was shot in the face at 6:11 p.m. 5:28, AGR Sniper 1 takes a picture of a bicycle and 2 bags. Those belong to Crooks. 5:32, AGR Sniper 1 spots Crooks looking at his phone and using a rangefinder. 5:55, Butler ESU Command confirms receipt of photos and states they have been relayed on. 6:05 p.m., AGR Sniper 1 later communicates that Crooks is seen moving northeast in direction of Sheets and that Crooks has a backpack. 2 minutes before the shooting, while President Trump has been allowed to take the stage, people see Crooks laying on his stomach in a sniper position on the roof, and they're yelling he has a gun, and they are trying to alert law enforcement and Secret Service. Why was Crooks not shot by the snipers? Why was he allowed to be there?
As soon as the individual was identified as a threat, they were...
No. What do you consider to be a threat? A man with a gun laying in a sniper position, a man that had a backpack, a man that had a bicycle, a man that had a rangefinder. At what point is he determined a threat?
An individual with a backpack is not a threat. An individual with a rangefinder is not a threat.
What about a man laying on a building that has direct line of sight of President Trump with a gun that people are screaming and pointing out? Is that a threat, Ms. Cheatle?
Once that individual was identified, they were neutralized.
No, they were neutralized. Crooks was neutralized after he shot the President Trump in the face, Ms. Cheatle. Is he only a threat once he fires the weapon?
As soon as the counter sniper identified that individual, they were able to neutralize them.
How were people in the crowd? Okay, then let's just take it this way. People under your command did not consider him to be a threat, yet people in the crowd knew he had a gun and considered him to be a threat. That means that you are a complete failure as the director of the Secret Service that people under your command don't perceive a man laying on a roof with direct...
She jumped right on her with that, didn't she?
...line to the president with a gun. They don't perceive that to be a threat, yet the people in the crowd do. How is that possible?
That's the last question, but please answer the question, Director.
I'm not certain at this time how the information from the people in the crowd was relayed to any law enforcement personnel.
No, you knew that everyone knew. The people there knew that there was a danger. They knew there was a threat to President Trump, and it was allowed to happen. Was there a stand-down order, Ms. Cheatle?
No.
Was there a conspiracy to kill President Trump?
Absolutely not.
Then how did this happen? And why are you still sitting here not turning in your letter of resignation?
Last question, but please answer, and then I'll recognize Mr. Presley. Please answer the question.
That is what we are investigating to determine.
We're waiting for your letter. We're waiting for your letter of resignation, and you really need to consider doing that before you leave today.
Chair, now recognize Mr. Presley from Massachusetts.
Thank you.
Well, let me see here. I'm actually watching this off of Fox Live. So it looks like there's one with AOC, okay? There's one that Cheatle uses encryption to chat. Nancy Mace goes off on her. Trump timeline revealed. Secret Service director faces lawmaker grilling on Trump assassination attempt. So the biggest ones here are Nancy Mace, AOC, and the biggest being so if you want me to do those next, let me know. I'll probably combine those two. I'll probably combine the Nancy Mace and the AOC. All right, so let me know. All right? And y'all got it. Crazy, right? Crazy, yo. It stinks. The whole thing stinks. 10 million subscribers. Woo!